Hello, everybody. My name is Sam Durbidge. I am an author, a writer, a peacemaker, and I believe in your dreams. I have many other videos that I would recommend to go check out on YouTube, and I'm even going to put some music that is a very good music that YouTube has allows people to do for, or said I could, when I started doing the channel. And so what it is the music, for those that can hear it, it's a very, very beautiful sounding. It has some snapping to it. And then it has some really peaceful music with it. Now, the reason why I explain this is because this is very similar to what abundance music binary beats is. And when I searched abundance songs, this song was the only one that came up that they had. And I just thought I'd let you be aware of it. It's really cool. So let me also go into what I'm going to talk about today. So again, for those that don't know me, again, my name is Samuel Durbidge. I'm a writer, an author of the book called My Alien Perceptions of Possible Truths. So, let's move on. A question that I hear people bring up a lot, and it's usually rhetorical, it's not always a question, but when I bring up, I'm a vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free person, non-GMO, they always go, oh, my brother or someone else was a vegan, but they stopped being a vegan after 2 years or after a certain amount of time because they got sick. Now, the most common reasons why someone would is because they're missing the micronutrients and other things. And because your body is detoxing, and some of these vegans are still eating foods that are sugary, pop, or other things. Some of them are still going for vegetables that are GMO, genetically modified. And a lot of these GMO foods, we don't know what they're genetically modifying it with because it doesn't tell you. The marketing doesn't require them to, or they get around it somehow, even if it does. Now, I don't know all the rules, but I do know for a fact that there is many, many things going on with the way this works, and it's very political. And I forgive them for that. They have their reasons for their life and their dreams. So I appreciate the options of non-GMO. And I want others to be aware of it because I believe you deserve to know the truth. Okay? So I am always about researching, finding out for myself. I don't believe anything, nor do I disbelieve anything. I'm aware of everything, and I find solutions and adapt to everything as best as I can. And when people let me to be more open and do my type of doing things, I do a lot better. So let me go into this. So first off, I want you to know, so I adjust a few things, that I personally am a vegan because of a really dear good person who was a blood doctor taught me some amazing things. And then I looked up other stuff. He said not to take his word for it, so I looked up other things. I also found out he helped one of my relatives and their grandchild and other things. Now, I don't know about all these stories, but I did hear it. And I did look into different things like this from other people. And it healed their cancer. Now, a lot of people have all these different spawned of things of saying that it can do this if you eat it for a certain amount of time or whatever. Well, here's the thing. You need to eat the micronutrients. I looked up Organifi, and many of you have already been aware of this. They do ads on YouTube pretty much everywhere. I love those guys. I just started their green juice today. Now, the next thing I would recommend is to look up information on companies like that and look at the ingredients. I would recommend to make sure it's gluten-free, egg-free, and all of that. Why do I do that? Well, because they medicate the eggs. They medicate other things. They do things to our water and all that stuff. And I'm not trying to be a fearmonger. I'm not. I'm about wisdom. I'm about looking into it. I recognized it because I reacted to it, and others did too. And then I talked to neighbors and other people, and they were as well. And it's because they've been adding things to things. And that's why people have acid reflux. That's why you have all your problems, because your DNA and your genetics are acting to it. Now, blood types and other things do matter. So make sure you look into this information. Look into a full body medicine doctor like Dr. Mark Hyman. He's a #1 best seller of his book. And he talks about food, and there's a brain gut, video and information that I've gotten from him, where your brain and your gut are connected. But then I got drawn to spiritual, enlightening information that said the same thing. The chakra energy signals in your body, everybody's or chakra, excuse me, or whatever you want to call it. I don't really worry about the way I say things or how people's grammar is, because I'm not focused on the faults of others or their problems. I focus on solutions of what it is their soul is wanting. And so I listen to their heart, and even if their words are a little bit confusing, I ask them, what do you mean by this? What do you mean by that? If I don't understand. And so I respect others, and I would believe that they respect me. And when they don't, I just explain my situation in the best way that I feel that they will understand it. And some of it is to give them knowledge of my past and past situation so that they can feel a little bit more respectful and kinder. And for those that have a good heart, they'll usually come around and see that. The other thing is, I believe and care for them and tell them I will pray for them, or I will meditate for them, or whatever it is they're okay with me doing. But I think good thoughts of others, because whether you believe in prayer or not, whether you believe in a religion or not, your thoughts and the things you say to people create reality for yourself and for them. They notice this in water studies. So what I do is I talk to my food. Anything I eat, I talk with my mind or my heart, and I thank it, and I say, I love you, thank you. And I say little things. I don't always say it out loud if I'm around people, but if I have a protein bar or something, and the type of protein bar I go for is NuGo, N-U, N is in Nancy, U is an umbrella, NuGo, and it's a vegan coconut milk type of protein bar with, I think it has rice and some other things with it, but it's really healthy for what I've noticed, because when I ate it, my bone structure and stuff got healthy from eating about 3 of those a day. Now I don't do as much of that anymore, but I do something equivalent, which is raw organic protein powder shake, and I put it in water. You can put it in almond milk or whatever else you prefer, but this is really healthy. And I do about 1 scoop of that a day. I'd prefer to do more, but I go with what I do now and then believe that I'm doing the other anyway, and then it will happen to where I can. And so what I've also done is I do the Organifi, and I also recommend something that I heard the Organifi ad did mention, or on his channel he mentioned it, and so did others. There is 2 things I'm going to mention. The toothpaste. You can do turmeric, which is the orange powdery stuff, turmeric, excuse me if I'm saying it wrong. that stuff you can actually use and put it with, you can actually put it with some oil, some peppermint oil, and coconut oil, extra virgin, they say, and you switch that around and use that as toothpaste. Yeah, use it as toothpaste, and then you wipe it out, and it keeps your teeth clean, but it also helps your gums. You can do other oil as well. I think he might have said palm oil. I'm not sure. Look into it and decide for yourself. But it's better to go for natural-based toothpaste rather than fluoride and other things, because there are many extensive fluoride studies that actually mess with your gut and your gums more. It kills good and bad germs, and it decalcifies your inner eye, your spiritual awakening gland. And it also helps prevent Alzheimer's disease, dementia, and multi-mood issue things. It gets you to be brighter and stronger, and it helps you be able to stabilize your mood and not be worried about people that you've had trouble with before. You can say things, if they react to you, you can get away a lot easier where you don't get hurt as much because you're helping your mood when you're doing these different things that I do. So the green juice, I recommend. It gives a lot of clarity. It's supposed to open up that third eye, or whatever you want to call it, but it's your spiritual inner eye. It's not some magic hoodoo stuff. Some people do it that way, but it's more of, it gets you connected to the realm of the spiritual. And Christ even mentioned many of these techniques, and there's many records of his information throughout all the different religions. He went there, but there was other guys that were just like him, and other women and other peacemakers that were just like him that taught the same things. And personally, Jesus Christ was friends with a lot of them, and he believed and he knew who they were. And in my vision, Christ told me the same. He even said, he's me, I'm him, and that everybody is basically that chooses to believe in the idea of him is him as well, as, or anybody drawn to him is basically a form of him. And that it's okay for those that don't believe in him or that are atheists or whatever, because he still loves them and he cares. They'll know when it's ready. They'll be aware, and they're just going by what their experiences were and what people taught them and their abuse that's gone through them. So if you're open to him, all you have to do is ask him, and he'll always help. He does. Now, to me, he said, I don't consider myself a he or a she or anything. He's just a higher being that cares about anybody of any race, creed, sexual orientation, all of that. And so I didn't understand all the things that were said to me, but it was really impressive, and I still am trying to understand it. But it was just really awesome. The best thing I noticed was when he hugged me, and I healed for like a ton. But I've had other experiences about those other deities and other things in meditation music too. They all have great power, and they're all connected to a higher being of self. And so you can look at that yourself, but I just wanted to let you be aware of that. So I'm going to go into this just real quick, and I'm going to do another video, because I try to keep my videos to 15 minutes as a respect to YouTube and others. But I do want to let you be aware. The way that this all works is when you eat food, and I'll go into this in the next video, when you eat food, you are eating what nourishes you and gives you strength. I go for the source of food, and that's what I do. Now, the next thing I also do is Organifi, the green juice, and I recommend the red juice, as well as look at the gold juice. Now, I also am aware of this, and I'm new to it, but I am aware of the superfoods, and there's more. And then it balances out my whole body system and gives me the micronutrients. But then I pray for things, and I pray for my water, and I thank it, and I do more things. to get the full nutrition. Anyway, I love you all. I'll do another video. Here you go.